allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo to dodo. Mayegun la wa mo to dodo. Ọ̀rẹ́ ara lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube, ṣe ń lọ ní Mayegun dá wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀dẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good morning to you from wherever you are joining me from. It is Mayegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me again. Please, after reading the caption of the broadcast, the description, please share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Mayegun today.
I
know the headline or the rider for the broadcast. It's always sometimes like funny, but it's not funny. Nigeria Senate has approved another $500 million for Thiefnubu to borrow so that they can buy meters for you. There is another loan request that Thiefnubu's government is also pushing. $320 million to improve healthcare and education in Nigeria. And they have already started in their media spreading the the story of the 40 aircraft. That means in 10 months of Thiefnubu, the Nigeria presidential jets have suddenly developed a fault that cannot be fixed, and is already kind of coming out little by little. Ingo by jet too. And there is Wahala from Niger State, where some Islamists are now calling for Thiefnubu's minister to be sacked because he is meddling in religious matter. They are planning to marry off over 100 underage girls because that's the way they want to alleviate poverty in Niger. That has now become controversial. I mean, big controversy. Meanwhile, there is a court that has stopped them now, but to hell with all courts. Kilo Thank you. So I have a lot tonight. So we better really get down to it because of our time. We've already kind of, I started late. So yeah, the Thiefnubu's propaganda machine, they have started planting the story of faulty aircraft. The last time they budgeted over 5 billion naira for a yacht. But Thiefnubu, they call it presidential yacht. Now you might actually have to be getting ready to pay for another presidential jet. You remember when Kolu went to Netherlands? Right. So from that, Netherlands jet trip, that was the moment they reported their presidential jets developed faults. So to them, well, it will be an opportunity to take it for a repair or a service. So they did. Then the news said they called for that of Shetima, the shitty man. Now, when they took shitty man's presidential or vice presidential jet to Holland, immediately it landed in Netherlands again. It developed faults. Meanwhile, they were due for a trip to Saudi Arabia World Economic Forum. So from that moment, they decided that they should just take all of them for repair so that they can open shop on you. You are going to get to know how much that will cost later, but they haven't disclosed that yet. But from what they are saying, it's like whatever is wrong with the presidential jet in 10 months under Thiefnubu, Kobogun, what Yoruba will call Kobogun, and what some of you will call incurable. So in 10 months, Thiefnubu's criminal illegitimate regime may actually declare that they need a new presidential jet, no matter how hungry they make the rest of you. But that's just on the side. Also, the Senate in Nigeria, they have approved another $500 million loan, a World Bank loan. Before now, just about 2 weeks ago, they also got approval for a $750 million loan, World Bank. So the $750 million, according to them, is a loan to fund the 2024 budget. Nothing specific. But this particular one is a bit specific. $500 million to buy electricity meters for you. You know they are not going to buy that, right? At least you do, or you don't. Anyway, so you see the push for more loans and more debt. They are in line with what the IMF, World Bank, and so many other secret lenders who are, since Thiefnubu can't get any real investors. I keep reminding you of that. Nigeria's revenue generating, sources have been sold to themselves. So the rest of the country is more or less like just being run by a gang of criminals. But they are telling you something. So Kolu was at a gathering, I think it was 2 days ago, and they said we are all equal in Nigeria. So let's start from there. Let's start from the boring part before we get to the other part. Yeah.
I'm aware that this campaign has been successfully launched in 15 African countries, focusing on health, education, economic empowerment, and gender-based violence. I'm also delighted to learn of all the various initiatives that Your Excellencies have embarked upon in your respective countries. I celebrate all of you. We must continue to create opportunities for all our children to access quality education without leaving anyone behind, particularly the girl child. We must engender a society where everyone has the same opportunity, regardless of who they are, because doing that leads to a stronger and more peaceful and developed society for all of us. It is noteworthy that the launch of this campaign in Nigeria coincides with the reintroduction of the alternative high school for girls, championed by the First Lady. This initiative offers a second chance to young girls who might have dropped out of school to be able to further their education and fulfill their dreams and aspirations. The empowerment of women and girls is essential to achieving each of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We must build an inclusive opportunity economy. Africans are known for warm hospitality and generosity. Our can-do spirit, although enshrine on us with the ability to thrive in challenging environments and challenging circumstances. We are who we are. We are Africans. See that and believing in ourselves will definitely help us if we work together in unity. I want to say again that I am firmly committed to ensuring that no Nigerian child is excluded from quality education that prepares women and girls to lead and bring positive changes to our community.
Oh, let's stop him there. Sorry for that poor audio, okay? But that call joining his wife, okay? Call, and that is a bat. Joining his wife, rat, to launch and open another shop on you. How much that is going to cost, I will tell you later in your life. But the idea, according to them, is to say, we are all equal. That's not true. But that is the campaign that they want to kind of push now to make you, probably according to them, make all of us possibly finally agree with Thiefnubu on something. But you can tell, it's going to be a pure, but you shall already fail. But anyway, one of the lawmakers in Nigeria, talking about the 40 aircraft, had this to say.
Mr. Speaker, since an issue has been raised, I will advise that the President should suspend using the presidential aircraft. If there is need, he can use either commercial or chartered aircraft. And another options, if that will also help Nigerians. If the President can travel by road, then Nigerians will have hope that our roads will be repaired soon. So, Mr. Speaker...
Honorable Allegiance, you are asking my president to use road to go to Europe.
No, I'm not saying
so
Europe.
My president should go by road to Europe.
You can use, Mr. Speaker...
My president should use road
British Airways
to attend meetings in Europe and UK. But you are not using road to go to UK. The last time I checked, you were not traveling by road. And you want the president to travel by road to UK. Can we hear from the minority leader? I think Allegiance has finished.
Mr. Speaker, anyway, minority leader should continue from west.
Nuisance, Lele.
Just so you see the association of nuisance, association of rogues. Anyway, the idea of him flying the public airline to anywhere is so strange to Nigerian politicians, but before they have a chance to be in public office, I mean, so many of them, including Thiefnubu, who has about 2 Gulfstream aircraft. One of the top, when you're talking about some of the top automobiles that some of you fancies, Gulfstream, kind of for the top, rich guys. Thiefnubu has his own, and he could just save the rest of you all this stress once and for all and start flying his own jet. Now, is that not what he's been flying? Or they would have to buy him a new one. And he says something about not leaving any child behind. And that is what will take me to Kwara State now. While these children are subjected to this type of a lifestyle, others are doing all they can to push their religious, what they call them again, fundamentalism in Kwara State. Let's stop there quickly. So that is where they are raising the leaders of tomorrow. And I promise you, there are tens of thousands of structures like that called schools in Nigeria. While these guys continue to steal and loot the supposed scarce resources. That won't even annoy you. Somebody said, religion is such a big problem in Nigeria. And a lot of us agree. But there are many, many instances of why it's going to be so difficult for you to disagree. The impact of religion on our people and how much that has helped our oppressors, successive criminals in government from every part of Nigeria to get away with their crimes. Religion. Right. Somebody said, Christians, they are building, especially down south, they are building schools, building universities. A majority of their church members cannot afford to send their children. But in northern Nigeria, and mostly as the idea is spreading, the Islamic fundamentalists, they are doing everything to make millions of people illiterate, incapacitated, economically incapacitated. It is like it is their agenda. That is why you have this Nigerian, that even the criminals who have looted Nigeria from northern Nigeria, they still fail to invest in their people. In a learning where I just showed you the state of a school there, right? There's this video. I'm sorry, it's in Yoruba, so I'll ask people to help me do some interpretation in the comment section, okay? In a learning, there's a video that just surfaced online. And it says some people or a group of Islamic fundamentalists, and I've seen their face before. The same people who said nobody must do Isheshe, Yoruba traditional religion. No Isheshe is allowed in Ilorin. And that became so controversial that they arrested people. They arrested people, locked them up for weeks, for months because of this issue. And they got away with it. Part of the lies they told you, Nigeria is a secular country, you know, where you have Christians, you have Muslims, you have those who are the traditionalists. They coexist peacefully. Is that not what you will read on Wikipedia? No, we don't coexist peacefully. There are those who believe that Nigeria is an Islamic country. But you see those who are not Muslims, they will break head, forget for anything to tell you that, no, Nigeria is not an Islamic country. Nigeria is not Islamic country. But fine, I'm not saying it is. But officially it is. Okay? So it's just that mentally, you know they agree. Say Nigeria is an Islamic country, Abi. One of the reasons why we have to actually break ourselves away from this contraption as soon as we can, as soon as possible, like since yesterday. Okay? So these guys, they went to a place, right? And they said, this place used to be a mosque. So why are you guys housing Christianity in this place? Why do you turn it to a church? I don't think there is history that those who were there as mosque, they were chased away. But the bottom line is, we don't want any Christian church or wherever here. And you know the funniest thing is, They actually said, in the name of the Emir of Ilorin, you have to leave this place. But that should be a secular country. The African Wahala and others, I need your help. Please help me as much as you can interpret this to my viewers. Please.
náà ni kò sọjà Abdulaziz láti bo láti ọlọ́jẹ̀ àti àfáà kí ló kọ yín àwọn ọlọ́jẹ̀ bàbá Mọ́gàjí ọlọ́jẹ̀ kí lẹ pé Abdulrasheed láti léwo láti ìlú wo mọmọdé ìbéèrè ìlú Ìlọrin àfáà rèé Muhammad Taofik láti Ìlọrin níléwo ìdí ìgbà ní alóore àbí ní pàtàkà àbáwá rèé Yusuf olóko àwọn àgbàlagbà ìlú wo láti alóore nílọrin ẹ̀yin kọ́ bàbá wa Abdulateef ẹ̀yin kọ́ ìyá wa Wasila ẹ̀yin kọ́ ìyá wa Aṣa ìlú wo ìlú Ìlọrin ẹ̀yin kọ́ bọ̀dá wa Abdulaziz nílọrin so wọ́n ṣe rí àrí pé gbogbo àwọn tí à ń wò wá rí pé ó kọ mùsùlùmí nítorí wáyé ànínú gbogbo kọ yíyanyan Ìlọrin bàbá ọlọ́jà tuntun mo láti kọrin eléyìí sí lóko bàbá ọba ìlú Ìlọrin ẹ̀já pé ṣé wulẹ̀ kan náà.
a dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ìwáyà yẹn wa lónìí òun ní kìjikìji tá à ń gbọ́ pé mọ́ṣáláṣí kan bẹ ní Alálùbọ́sà nílọrin tí wọ́n sì ń ṣe mùsùlùmí ní wọ́n ń ṣe Islam bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n sì ṣe Christian kọ́lá àwọn tó ń ṣẹbọ.
àwọn ará pẹ̀rẹ̀ méjì.
àmọ́ nínú mẹ́ta tí wọ́n wí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá tẹ́ ń pariwo pé kí là ń wò a rí i pé wọ́n ń ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì inú mọ́ṣáláṣí pọ̀ tí ó sì gbọdọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ìlú yìí. léè tó já sí wípé èèyàn lè sọ pé òun kọ́ mọ́ṣáláṣí kó máa kí òun bẹ́ẹ̀ àmọ́ kí pé yóò wá ní òun fi mọ́ṣáláṣí ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì èyí lọ́rin. mọ́ṣáláṣí ó wà lọ́tọ̀ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ó wà ní ọ̀tọ̀. nígbà táwa gbọ́ bàbá ọba Ìlọrin wa ní a wá kì í ṣèlú àwọn ni wọ́n ó ti máa sọ pé wọ́n ń ṣerú ẹ̀. gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá ó dùn wá pé wọn jọ wà bá tìjà wá àmọ́ tí a wá sọ ni wípé ló kọ bàbá ọba Ìlọrin pé a gbọ́dọ̀ rí n tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ kì í ṣe pé bóyá a da alábàákọ́ tó bá fẹ́ ṣe pé Islam wọn fẹ́ ṣe kó ṣe tó bá fẹ́ ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì kó ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tó pé ìlú tá a wà yìí ìlú táyé ń sọ ní bíládìlì Ìlọrin ìlú tá a wà yìí bàdàtò kò dì sí ìyàtọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ ìlú yìí mímọ́ ni wọ́n fi tẹ̀ ẹ́ wàhálà tó fi dùwà nígbàfẹ́ nìkan kó bàálù yìí jẹ́ látùsídùwà kó ṣe ń táwọn àgbàlagbà tà náà ò ṣe látùsídùwà kó ṣe ń tọ́lọ́run ò fẹ́ kọ́ má náà bí jà láti kó kó àwọn èèyàn jọ láti máa sọ pé ẹ lè ṣe Islam kẹsì máa ṣe Christian nígbà ìlú yìí ò ní gbà bàbá ọba Ìlọrin ò ní gbà bàbá ìmáàmù àgbà ò ní gbà bàbá ìmáàmù àlè ò ní gbà bàbá ajánẹ́sì ò ní gbà bàbá ìmáàmù gàmbàrí ò ní gbà gbogbo àwọn wàlíyì Ọlọ́run tí wọ́n tẹ̀lú ìwọ̀n ò ní gbà bíládìl kẹrìmù ìlú yìí ìlú àpọ́nlé ni fàdàlọ́lọ́wù nùráwù àwọn tẹ̀lú yìí wọ́n tẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìmọ́lẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ni bínúrì ulumi wọ́n tẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìmọ́lẹ̀ mímọ́ wàtúkọ̀ wọ́n tẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run ẹnì kan ò lè sọ pé tó gbóhùn fẹ́ kó yẹn jọ àbóhùn fẹ́ jẹun wọ́n á lóun fẹ́ bàlú ìjà nígbà wàlẹ̀ ìbáàdà wọ́n sì tẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀sìn Ọlọ́run màmá wa yìí wọ́n jó obìnrin kò ní mínì láti fẹ́ ṣe dáwà tọ́lọ́run. dáwà. ìyẹn máa ṣe dáwà tọ́lọ́run àmọ́ kì í pé yóò wá pàápọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ táàtú wa fi ń gbọ́ léra fẹ́fẹ́ pé wọn ò bí ẹnìkan dà. sòtó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ máa jíṣẹ́ fún wọn pé kọ́ má jà padà wá. wọ́n lè sọ pé àwọn làwọn nílẹ̀ àwọn àmọ́ sọ wọn pé ilé ọba Ìlọrin أي بلاك زي أي بلاك زي الله يعصمك
من الناس
لا تخاف الدرك
ولا تخشى
ولا حول ولا قوة
إلا بالله. Nuisance lele. Nuisance.
That is what will happen to the rest of Yoruba land. When the Fulanis, when they are done with us, as they are making you look away or ignore the danger that these Islamic fundamentalists represent historically, if not because of Aponja that brought Alimi, see where they sell a charm, and brought him to do charm for him and help him train his soldiers against the Alaafin of Oyo, because he wanted to be independent. We are not coming back under Oyo. We'll stay on our own here. Then Alimi betrayed his host, who gave him everything. After killing him and killing every one they could kill, and those who could escape escaped, they formed an emirate. And that is what you call a Ilorin Emirate. You see those guys there, those were the Fulani Yorubas. You know that the Lagos Abobakus are sort of grooming you to hate the other Yoruba, intertribal marriages that involves the Yorubas. For example, the Yoruba Igbos, the Yoruba Ijos, the Yoruba Kanuris, the Yoruba this. But surely the Yoruba Fulanis, the fundamentalists who have formed the base in Ilorin, which is a Yoruba land. Now, every now and then, this identity crisis, and it's not even like more or less like any identity crisis, is kind of been sorted. In Yoruba land, we will say, oh, the father of a child is the owner of the child. Abi? But in Ilorin, where these Fulanis have been now for over 200 years. So, of course, they decided to choose Fulani over Yoruba. And it's obvious, the reason is obvious. So why won't somebody be so offended speaking the language that nobody understands? That is what will happen to the rest of Yoruba land. Because you can see them already. Abi, where every now and then we keep screaming and shouting of why those in charge of Yoruba land will continue to downplay or underplay the threats posed by the Fulani terrorists in Yoruba land. You see what is happening in Ilorin? That will be the future of the entire Yoruba land by the time they are done with us, maybe 100 years from now. A place where to be a Yoruba will be like a sin. And to survive, you would rather just say you are Fulani. You can speak Yoruba all you care, but you have to say you are Fulani. And when it comes between you choosing between Yoruba and Fulani, you will choose Fulani. Your children would. And the intention is just based on this subjugation. They moved there in the name of Allah. So they built a center. That's the story, okay? They built a center. And that center, Christians are allowed to worship there. Muslims, they are allowed to worship there, okay? And according to them, they heard that they are also practicing Yoruba traditional religion. But when they got there, they said, oh, they didn't see that, but they saw the sign of those who were Muslims and those who were Christians coexisting and using the same worship place. That won't be the only place in the world. The biggest mosque in Qatar, or is it Qatar or UAE, is said to have been built by the emir of that emirate, where this poverty-stricken religious fundamentalists that exist in Yoruba, they are not just in Ilorin. They are not just in Ilorin. It's just that they haven't had a chance of accessing or gaining control of power in any other part of Yoruba land. The moment they do, they will declare the place as Islamic Caliphate. And a lot of you think it is those Fulani that are coming to declare Islamic Caliphate in Yoruba land. No, they will use our fellow Yorubas like that, who speak Yorubas, but who despise. They despise who they are. Enshebo, enyo Shebo, enye Elebo. And there is Elebo means those who are like doing sacrifices. Every day, and there's nobody that does Ebo reach these criminals, these fundamentalists. People travel from all parts of the world because they want to go and meet Afa in Ilorin. Afa wa ni Ilorin, ti won ko wa ni kewu wa layi. No be so. Afa is the one that is doing the divination, is the one that is talking to the Alijonus. His wives are the ones who are selling lekuleja. They are the ones who are selling ikoko. They are the ones who are selling everything they call labor. Every day, every now and then, man sebo, ebole nse, enuno le nlo, ten sebo, and olori buruku ton won, to ton shetira. When you tell them to open up I mean, we know all this now. We condemn them, and we condemn one. You are in a Nigeria that you can actually ask for your own country. Yeah, you can. So they were there and they opposed the fact that Muslims, Christians could kind of worship together. It's not allowed in Ilorin. And the Emir of Ilorin, in the name of Emir of Ilorin, he asked you to leave. And that is the lie, the contraption called Nigeria. It is the same in the next story I'm about to tell you. A few days ago, I kind of shared with us the story of the Speaker of Niger State House of Assembly, who was alleged to be sponsoring the arranged marriage between some orphaned girls, those whose parents have been killed by terrorists. That's what they said. And they said they wanted to marry them off as a means of a poverty alleviation, because they are suffering. There's nobody to take care of them. So in their culture, in Islam, there's nothing wrong in marrying off underage girls. So may them leave all this Nigeria law or everything apart, leave that out of it. It is our culture. According to they say it is their culture. And at the same time, it is also in line with Islamic law, Sharia law. So they are not violating any law. The speaker is only sponsoring the event. He's not the one marrying the girls off. The state governor, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, the imams of Niger State, imams, Islamic clerics in Niger State, some other Islamic organizations, they have now demanded that the minister for women affairs or so, who took them to court and said they must stop their marriage. Now they're asking Thiefnubu to sack her for daring to interfere in a religious matter. I'm not kidding you. They are not planning to send the children to school. They are not planning to empower them as victims of terrorism. They are planning to marry them off. And let me tell you this, it is a common feature in northern Nigeria. If you know how much money these guys are spending on organized marriage, or organized marriages, they are organizing marriages for people who have no education, people who have no job, people who have no skill, and they just send them out there, and it is a state policy. They have tried to send them to school by giving them money and food, but yet the Islamists said their book is haram. So they are more in danger going to school than being married off in poverty. Yeah, they are demanding for the sack of that minister.
Reactions have continued to trail the marriage sponsorship of 100 orphans as the Imams Forum and heads of other Islamic organizations in Niger State have given an ultimatum of 7 days to the Minister of Women Affairs, Uzor Uwani, to withdraw statements and threats issued against the Speaker, Niger State House of Assembly, Abdulmalik Sarkindaji, and the entire Muslim community or face legal action. The Secretary of the Imams Forum, Umar Farouk Abdullahi, who made this known at the end of their emergency meeting, also called on President Bola Thiefnubu to immediately sack the minister, saying she is unfit to serve the nation in that capacity. Arising from a 2-hour emergency meeting, the Forum of Imams and other Islamic organizations in Niger State, in a 4-point resolution, has demanded the immediate sack of the Women Affairs Minister, Uzor Uwani, as well as for President Thiefnubu to relieve her of her appointment.
She used many words to blackmail Mr. Speaker, to blackmail the Muslims of Niger State, to blackmail the ulamas of Niger State. So this is our stand, the resolutions. 1, we are giving the minister ultimatum of 7 days to withdraw the statement she used against us, against our speaker, against the Muslim community or Muslim leaders of Niger State, that we want to give out the children, we want to force them into marriage, and the children are underage, so that we have contravened the child rights law. So we are giving her the ultimatum to withdraw that statement, or legal action will be taken after that 7 days, inshallah ta'ala, against her. 3, we also call on Mr. President to use his good office and sack that woman from the office. She's not qualified to be a minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She's not qualified to be a member in the Executive Council of Nigeria. So she should be sacked and removed from the office.
According to the Secretary, Imams Forum, Umar Farouk Abdullahi, the May 24 date of the marriage remains sacrosanct, saying that as those to solemnize the unions, none of the 100 girls is below the age of 18.
No lady is below 18. It's from 18 above. There's even 25. So from 18 above. We have all the documents with us. That is why we do not contravene any law of the land. So we will go ahead and conduct the marriage, inshallah ta'ala.
Other speakers, including the chairman of Chanchaga local government area, Aminul Adan, and the Niger State area unit of the Muslim Students Society of Nigeria, all condemned the minister.
And now, with the mandate that this man is having, as the speaker and member representing that particular local government, I feel it's unhealthy for somebody to come in, let me call it a political propaganda. We will not accept that.
You should immediately suspend that minister. If not, because she's trying to cause crisis.
They all commended the Speaker, Abdulmalik Sarkindaji, for voluntarily sponsoring the wedding, as requested by the religious and traditional leaders of Mariga local government area, saying they would take it from there to face the minister if she fails to comply with their resolutions.
nuisance leleyi.
They will issue fatwa on her. They will threaten her. They will tell her, don't come to the north. And the rest of that. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the minister, okay, out of the 160 something girls that they want to marry off, 110 or so of them, they are between the ages of 12 and 17. Just think about that. 12 and 17. But they have probably doctored the entire book now, okay, to present a birth certificate for all of them that's going to say they are 18, 19, 20, 18, 19. And you will see a 12-year-old that they will say, this one, no, she just looked like that. That's how she was born. The daughter, the governor said daughter or daughters, they are currently in private schools. All right? The ones that are in Nigeria or the ones that are abroad, they are all in private schools right now. These guys are training their own children. Okay? They are training their children so that they will match whatever the challenges, life challenges they may have to come across in their life. They will be prepared. Kind of. But you see, when it comes to the poor, then that is when the Sharia comes to effect. Take a look at the girls. Sometimes in October last year, okay, so there was this community in Niger State. And I want you to take a look at this. This is not a new video, okay? I just want you to take a look at the faces of all these children. Those are the kind of children they are marrying off on the 24th of May. And they said the sacrosanct, nothing will stop it. Not even a court order. Watch.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bo nonno gyotomi min do shagol no bida inde Muhammadawa a karamar hukumar Bidda Niger State. Amma mi wade kokari mi hautan go oto mo dari wuro gommo wa ana en bayani ira matsaloli di mo wiyan be godi diyan do to do goni Muhammadawa. To malan wane min bayani ira matsaloli di gonno e diyan do to gonno Muhammadawa dum.
Matsala amin ni dan dundiyam to joni ni to dungu jippake dan sheddam min keba diya shedda tunda iyaka gabela. To yawtake do no gabebe min dulle ma kodan min jarta hay to dum wadi layi sai to dum wadi hajjira tunda gabela joni haka hanga jawdi amin maishi e yara hanga wuro amin yarta ay bodum kamata ki to dabbaji jarata wuro wada ka waggo amfani e majju tunda dabbaji gadai shille der bebbay der gadai haraka goddum der tay dum warti don no innira gatta wade lotugo lejeta hanjan dan bo min maishi min jara.
To joni koye daɓɓiɗata e gomnati taimakoroma.
To bukata amin ni ɗum min giɗe gomnati taimakomi e ga Allah ga annabijo Allah ɗum taimakoromin diyam ko yarete diyam laaɓuɗam gomnati min giɗi waɗana min gudunmowa e barka mulki ɗum o heɓi o taimakoromi e majji ko min bukati gon ɗum.
To in Allah jaɓi inchallah haalaka mettuɗa ɗo joni min turan tokka mawɓe amin. Allah keɓe iko hamɓe maɓe ga anna on diyan.
That's where the entire community drinks from that stream. And you just need to see the number of those kind of children scattered in Niger State alone. Most of them have been chased away from their primary land. Some of them have lost their parents, but they are doing slave trade, Islamic slave trade in Nigeria. They are selling children, they're selling them off as slaves to go and marry, taking them out of Nigeria. Northern Nigeria, no track, no record, and all of that. It is like or more. Yeah, slave trade. Children between the ages of 2 years old, 2 years old. They are selling them off as slaves. To kidnap them, take them, and some of these kidnappings that you are hearing every now and then. Majority of the people who have never found their own children or found their relative anymore, because they've been sold. Yeah, it's a thriving market in that Sahel. And that is why if anybody is offering you to let us go to Europe by road, if you're watching me from Niger, I don't want you to think whatever you are facing in Nigeria is so bad. Then somebody is asking you to go to Europe by road. There are people that have been captured in Libya. They are there in the cage like animals to be sold as slaves, and there are buyers. Twice a week, they have two or three different spots in Libya where children kidnapped from across this West Africa, especially northern Nigeria, are shipped to, never to be seen again. True story. So you see, the criminals in Nigeria who are doing it under the cloak of religion. The moment you want to say, be careful, you better be careful, you better don't provoke us. And then immediately you will see our brothers and sisters who call themselves moderate Muslims. They, no, it has nothing to do with Islam. It's just their own barbaric culture. It has nothing to, instead of them to quickly say, well, this is one of the reasons why we need to keep teaching people that this is an old barbaric thing. Condemn it instead of you trying to warn us on what to say or not to say. Like, watch your mouth. That's not about Islam. But watch your mouth. People do say that to me. But not anymore anyway. Especially on YouTube. It's very important, right? Now let's take a leave from what and how they are treating children to how they are treating adults. I don't know if you know that the most touted minimum wage of Thiefnubu is actually 48,000 naira. That is adding 18,000 to the 30,000. And to everybody who knows that if you were earning 30,000 in Nigeria, you're actually not earning 30,000, right? Because most of it end up being deducted from you. But now 48,000. Well, NLC says they've rejected that. I don't know what they're gonna do, but their chairman and the other guy have something to say. 2 days ago, what do you call those ones again? ASU. They have now given 2 weeks warning. There is a particular video I kept for that purpose. There shall be no ASU strike. You remember that campaign of Thiefnubu? You will see more. Here is the reaction of the NLC to Thiefnubu's 48,000 naira minimum wage, which they won't even pay you, but they are demanding for more. Listen.
The 500 naira a meal per person we presented. We expected them to say you can go to Mama Put and get it for 200 or 300 because that's negotiation. You don't just from your head and say we pay you 20 naira. So that we look for the Mama Put joint in Nigeria where you can get, even without meat, a meal at 200 or 300. That would have initiated negotiation. But when people are not ready to initiate negotiations, they say take this. So what do you now want? Okay, you want us to now say there will be no medical allowance, or there will be no housing, or there will be no transport. So they have not even provided a basis. You just say 48, I will say, what is this 48 for? And they are not ready to talk. So you can see that there is no seriousness, or they have not done their homework. Rather, Governor Soludo is busy harassing some of the governors that say they will start even paying 70, when 70 is not our demand. Why should they say it?
And even urge them to take a decision.
So right now, the governors forum, they are meeting, probably to further impoverish Nigerian workers. But they have not said that their revenue, since the removal of subsidy, has almost tripled. They will not come to say that, but just to reduce the wage we are in. So that's the situation we have found ourselves in.
Back to our question.
You ask, is it for housing? Is it for feeding? Is it basic? There is no salary negotiation process that doesn't have these ingredients. Even if you look at your pay slip, you see the one that is transport allowance. Then can you break it down? There was lack of seriousness. The first instance, at the commencement of this talk, the Minister of Finance had come and left. The Minister of Budget had come and left. The Minister of Labour was not there. The head of service came and left. The governors that was supposed, apart from Soludo that joined on Zoom, and the state and Niger State Deputy Governor came. Soludo joined us on Zoom, but was busy defending his state that they are not paying the old minimum wage because the report by the finance minister showed that Anambra is among the states that are not paying the old minimum wage. So he was busy all the way, defending his state. So, and was presenting himself as governor of Anambra State instead of representing the governor's forum. So that was what we saw today. There was not anybody to do. Just I'd like to explain. Organized private sector explained that.
It looks so tired. Or should I say it looks so stressed? Oh dear. Well, there are so many lamentations like that. And I think the more he talks like that, the more he gives himself up as like, instead of being somebody who wants to lead the people who are the victims of Thiefnubu's policies. I mean, in the olden days now, it's like we used to look forward to the Labour president, NLC president. They always get something out of their agitation. Then APC happened. Then Nigeria became president of NLC and ended up being the first and the only NLC president beaten to stupor. And every now and then, every time I see him speak, I don't know if it is just me, the president of over 15 million workers in Nigeria, if no more, the president of the over 15 million workers who are suffering from Thiefnubu's policies, every time he speaks, what I see is like somebody asking for help. I don't know. What about you? Like, you can't tell me you are seeing any sort of shining light in those eyes that can, sparkling light that can make you feel like, oh, yeah, okay, he's talking. Every time I heard him, it's more or less like he's crying for help. Please, people, help me. If you know what these people did, you see what they have done. No, let me explain to you. It's like crying for help. Anyway, watch this part too.
As clearly stated by the organized private sector, highlighting the stark disparity between the proposed minimum wage and prevailing standards, further demonstrating the unwillingness of the employers and government to faithfully negotiate a fair national minimum wage for workers in Nigeria. Furthermore, the government's failure to provide any substantiated data to support their offer exacerbates the situation. This lack of transparency and good faith undermines the credibility of the negotiation process and erodes trust between the parties involved. As representatives of Nigerian workers, we cannot, in good conscience, accept a wage proposal that will result in a reduction in income of federal level workers who are already receiving 30,000 naira as mandated by law, augmented by President Buhari's 40% peculiar allowance of 12,000, and the 35,000 naira wage award, totaling 77,000 naira only. Such a regressive step would undermine the economic well-being of workers and their families, and is unacceptable in a national minimum wage fixing process. Let me allow my colleague from the TUC to take up the remaining points.
Thank you. In the light of this development, and in order to prevent negotiation of a wage deduction, the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress of Nigeria have taken a decision to walk out of the negotiation process. We remain committed and advocating for the right of workers and continue to engage in reasonable dialogue with the government if they have shown serious commitment to find a fair and sustainable resolution in this impasse. We call upon the government to reconsider its position and come to negotiation table with clear hands that reflects the true value of the contributions made by Nigerian workers to the nation's development and the objective of socioeconomic realities that confront not just Nigerian workers but Nigerians as a whole.
Nuisance Lele.
Put it that way. Martinelli, you got it. So it is like these guys were just showing to Nigerians, save yourself. Oh. We cannot save anybody anymore at this point. I remember the last time I saw Ajero's interview, and it was like he was crying for help. He said, every time they try to say they want to go on strike, the government threatened to beat them. They sent thugs after him and his people. And that is not good. Thiefnubu was supposed to allow the workers to express themselves. Baba, NLC chair, NLC president is scared of Thiefnubu's thugs. Eh?
Tell me, what's my own? Tell me, I'll ask you now, what's my own now? Right where I'm asking you, what's your own? We are jungle, we are Uzor, we suffer. You want to make me talk? Tell me, what's my own? Tell me, I'll ask you now, what's my own now? Right where I'm asking you, what's your own? We are jungle, we are Uzor, we suffer. You want to make me talk?
What's our own, kind of? Because at this point, now so the NLC go to react if you call them to come and NLC do something. NLC do something. NLC president go hold you and say, what's my own? Because that's what I see. I can't help you. The situation is beyond me. Save yourselves. Save yourselves. If you see those who knows how to read body language, facial expression, and all of that stuff, I bet you, they will tell me that I am more than 60% accurate. That those guys, every time you see them on your screen, they are not different from the rest of you. They are not president of anything. Nigeria is already captured. That's sad, isn't it? Very sad. But here is something. You heard about the Uzor Uwani, Uzor Uwani, the border community in Enugu. Yeah, the people that have been under the attack of the Fulani terrorists, especially. in the last 3 months. And unfortunately, their governor, the one the people believe that he was never voted for, Peter Mba, have decided to go ahead and start a RUGA Fulani rural grazing area in Enugu. And according to him, just to bring peace, the murderers, the killers, none of them has been arrested whatsoever. Or rather, they will use the Enugu State's money to build them RUGA. Guess where they want to build it? The farm settlements in Uzor Uwani. And because the people are still adamant, you know what happened next? We don't know who sent them. Nigerian soldiers, in the middle of the night, they went to that farm settlement and set the homes there ablaze. Whether the people were inside or not, nobody cares. They set it ablaze in the middle of the night, just to get rid of them. Does anybody know how I can convince you that is watching me right now that the criminals who have taken charge or taken over the government of Nigeria, they've made it so obvious that the government is the enemy? The government is the enemy. How could soldiers set ablaze the homes of those who are farmers on the authorized, approved farmlands that have been in place before Peter Mba become governor? That they have to do this to their own people.
You can see this is the action of Nigerian military. They came to our house this night, burned down our houses. We don't know what is happening. Our people in the farm settlement ran to us today that they were attacked in the farm settlement. Now what we see is Nigerian military came to our place, burned down the houses. We don't know what is the problem. We don't know if we are to run for Fulani herdsmen. We will be running for Fulani herdsmen and also be running for Nigerian military. I don't know what is happening in Nigeria. I don't know if we can continue with this. This is becoming too much. The world should come and help us. This is too much. This is not how we should live as a country. We can't be living like this. I don't know if Southeast did anything exceptional. We are not criminals. This is our home. We can't run away from our home. This is too much. Peter Mba, I don't know what you thought by saying that Fulani herdsmen should come and live in our place. Then they chase our people from the farm settlement. The next thing is for the Nigerian military to come to our place and burn down our houses. This is not fair. We didn't do anything to Nigeria. You can see this is the action of Nigerian military. They came to our house this night, burned down.
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria is so corrupt, which I.
That is the latest from Enugu. The governor went there the last time they killed a man and a child. He went there and he told him, he promised the people of safety. He even promised the children of the deceased free education, and they will take care of the welfare of those who were injured. Only for Peter Mba and his gang of betrayers to announce that they've now passed a law that gave Peter Mba the go-ahead to establish a ranch for Fulanis in Enugu. Just to bring peace. For peace. That's what they call it. For peace. I have nothing to say after that. So let's go to another thing. This time around, ladies and gentlemen, the list is out. Those that received from listen to this. So, you know me, I told you that where the Wike stole over 800 billion. Where the report we have now is that where the Wike actually squandered over 2.5 trillion naira of Rivers State's money. And no wonder that Devuluma said, you think if you are just packing public money, you're just throwing public money everywhere, stealing public money and all of that, that makes you somebody. Illiteracy. That's what Devuluma said. Remember? Yeah. Fubara seems to be on the road right now, ladies and gentlemen. When I say he is on the road, I mean everything you've been praying to know about Wike, you are likely going to see everything before they tell him to stop. Some people are already saying, hey, they talk too much, go and face governance. But most of these people were those who also called him, what do you call it? They called him an underdog. They said he should go and apologize. They were even looking forward to when he will be removed because it looks so weak. Now that he's been firing from all cylinders, Baba, they are saying he's talking too much. Baba, he never starts. According to him, he never starts. Majority of another. This is another sort of credence to the fact that Wike appointed over 80% of those in Fubara's government. See the level at which a lot of them are resigning right now because of this. Yesterday alone, 5 of them resigned in a single day because they can no longer take it. And their loyalty is to Wike. So here, if you are from Rivers State, you probably have seen this. So when Wike was doing his Father Christmas, he was donating to states, he was donating to, for example, Benue State collected 500 million naira from Wike. This was autumn. So to some of you who are seeing autumn with him, and you are wondering why autumn will kind of eat shit with him, right? 500 million naira was given to autumn by Wike in 2018 for the Benue, for the victims of Fulani herdsmen attack, the Fulani terrorist attack in Benue. Wike gave autumn 500 million. In Sokoto State, where they had the boat mishap, where people died on the boat, in 2022, Wike gave Tambua 500 million naira for the victims of, those people. Sokoto State, sorry for the people that died on the boat, 500 million. In Bayelsa State, during that time that they opened that dam in Cameroon, remember, Wike went to Bayelsa State in 2022 and he gave Diri 200 million naira for the flood victims as a future PDP presidential candidate too. So again, when ASU went on 18-month strike, remember that time when ASU was on strike for like 18 months under Bokwari, and they said that their members, their members, they were struggling, they were suffering. No food, no this, no that. That was in 2020. Do you remember? Wike called ASU and gave them 300 million. Take this 300 million. When I become president, you will never suffer again. But take this one, take a whole body. Rivers State money. Nigerian Bar Association of Lawyers, they were having their 2021, what was that? Annual conference. 2021 annual conference. Where Wike called them and said, take this 200 million to organize your conference from Rivers State money. There are more. Association of Nigerian Students, NANS. right? Because Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students, National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, for their activities, so that they too can, where we can give them. This was in 2023, before the elections. He gave them, no, hang on, no, this is not like, this was in 2021, rather, 2021, where we can give them 100 million naira. Take down our whole body. I'm running to be president. Once I become candidate of PDP, I'm going to need NANS. You're going to get more. I'll give you more. Then he went to Lagos. They called them the National, they said, Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials. You remember that time? They are called COSO, COSO, where Wike met them in 2023. Then he wasn't a candidate, and he was already working for Thiefnubu. So he gave them 100 million naira. Then he also went to the National Council of Women Societies in 2022, gave them 50 million naira. He said it's for, then he also donated to renovation or, build or renovate institutions across Nigeria. In Bayelsa, with a Wike, listen to this, he pledged and he gave 5 billion naira, 5 billion to the Bayelsa state government to build a new law school campus in Enugu, River State money. All right. The same way the Wike went to University of Ibadan and he gave 500 million naira to the University of Ibadan to renovate the library of University of Ibadan. Also, with the Wike, with River State money, he went to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and he gave them 200 million naira to renovate the Faculty of Engineering building in Nsukka. He was a generous giver, Baba. He went to Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. He gave them 100 million naira to renovate the building of the Faculty of Law there too. Then he took a little stopover in Bida, Federal Polytechnic in Bida. He also gave them another 100 million naira just to build a new engineering workshop. Okay. He went to, for the flood victims, so I told you about Benue. Benue collected 500 million naira for the Artsmen attack. You remember that time now, where did they attack Benue? So in 2018, where Wike gave another 500 million naira to Benue for the flood victims. River State is not federal government too. He also went to Delta, flood victims in Delta, 100 million naira, 2022. In Kogi, he also met with Yeye Bello, and he gave Yeye Bello 100 million naira for the flood victims in Kogi in 2022. Anambra, in 2022, he met with Soludol or Soludomb. He gave him another 100 million naira. They say for flood victims in Anambra. Ebonyi, 100 million. Imo, 100 million. What about fire victims? Those who suffered from fire accidents in Nigeria, where the Wike met the Onitsha main market, he gave them 1 billion. Yeah, 1 billion naira in 2021. He met with the Ariaria market fire victims. He gave them 500 million naira in 2020. He met with the Sokoto fire victims. He gave them 500 million naira in 2021. So, Baba, when Wike shared over 11.25 billion naira of River State money in an effort to become president of Nigeria in 2023. So if you see where Wike acting mad, eating his own vomit, everything is said about APC, swallowing them, Baba, I think you should understand why. And to Fubara, there is more to tell us. Make all of us shall still wait. And I'm not in a rush. So he was talking to the people of Rivers. He said, we have defeated the enemies of River State. and other things. Hang on for a minute. Currently, you are over 1,000. How many of us are on YouTube right now? We are currently over like 1,000, almost 1,900. And we only have just about 400 of us who have paid their offering. Now, while you watch this video, you can even use the remote control of your TV. Press up. You will see the sign there. Match the remote there. Like it. You can do that too. You don't even have to go on your phone. But listen to Fubara and like the broadcast.
Every Rivers man, it doesn't matter whether they Ijaw or whether they upland. The most important thing is that every genuine Rivers man must be a genuine liberator. And I'm happy that you have come here today. I've also received you because we have one common purpose: to liberate our dear state. We're not going back on that. I'm happy that you're telling me this morning that when I call on you, you will respond. But there's nothing to call on you because we have already defeated. We have defeated them. By the special grace of God, what they thought that they would have done to us while we are celebrating our 1 year in office, they are the ones sleeping with their two eyes open, restless. It shows that we have the Ijaw blood. And what is that? What is that blood? Is the blood of action. Let's talk more action. So this morning, I want to appeal to you. While we celebrate or commemorate our brother, our leader, our father, Adaka Boro, let it be done peacefully. I beg you. Nobody should hurt anybody. Let it be a celebration that at the end of the day, nobody is hurt. We'll go back to our homes and we say, thank God that the celebration was a success. Please, I'm appealing to everyone. There is no cause for any alarm. No cause for, in the course of this event, we'll go and spoil anything. No. In fact, those of you writing those things, there's no need for it. We have already, we are liberated. So we don't need to start carrying those signposts and all the, please, take away those things. That is not our cause. That is not our cost. Our cost today is to celebrate our victory. Our cause today is to celebrate the success of your leadership. Even in the face of all the crisis, division, you still stood as one. That is the important thing. So let me join you to celebrate our...
No worry, we don't hear what we want here. So the fight continues. He has given the local government chairman days. He said their days are numbered and they should get ready to leave the office in the coming days. So the showdown is ready. And I am always going to be here for it. I do not have any dog in their fight. Martinelli, Abi, you get dog for their fight? Okay, maybe Director Scott. I've been at Just Reason get a dog for this fight. I am just going to be a spectator, like many of us here. But let's stop by in ABIA. Okay. See, Alex Sotti said something about airport project, right? That was on in their handover notes that ABIA State paid out 10 billion for airport projects, ABIA airports that never happened. And is kind of accusing his predecessor, Ekpeazu, to come and, that he should tell the Abians what happened to that money. Now, Ekpeazu was yet to answer when KPMG released their data from their own investigation. They did an audit, so to say, and they came out to tell in their report the financial health of ABIA State, including financial commitments in the past. So in their investigation, the money was not used for any airport project. In fact, it was diverted to something else. But in the trace of how the money was moving, they traced about 230 million to the bank of the directors of different ministries who took a share of that money, you know, but not all the money, okay? They didn't really give all the details of where the money went. But you look at all these guys who took their own share that kind of got to them and what they took the money for and all that, right? Government officials that used SPV to steal from that money. But the former governor himself, Ekpeazu, said no, he didn't steal the money. Yeah, he had a plan that he wanted to build the airport. Then he realized that some of the inner roads outside Aba, they are so bad that he kind of decided to use the money to reconstruct those roads. And in fairness to him, there were actually some of the roads that were really they were really reconstructed. But the KPMG investigation did not show them use that money for the construction of any road. It was actually paid into 32 bank accounts. The money was shared into different accounts, 32 of them, without any project attached to them to say, oh, this one is for so road, that one is for that road. From their investigation, no. But the governor said, the former governor said, yeah, that's what I used the money for. I just paid those people to go and fix those roads. That's where we are. Watch.
Was that what also inspired the thought of ABIA having an airport?
Yes, but I'd like to correct from the outset. We were thinking about a trade port.
Trade port?
Yes, because all we do in Nigeria is airport, and they don't seem viable. I wasn't thinking, ABIA doesn't have money to sustain an airport if it is for the purposes of airplane will land and airplane will take off. So we were saying, we can bring a small area into the airport so that somebody can come to the airport to shop and sleep and wait and then connect the next flight to the next location as they do in Dubai. A small conference center, small hotel, whatever. So people can, there'll be life even after, you know. And then, but at some point, we found out that we have 15 markets in Aba. At the point we were thinking about this trade port, we realized that the road to area was bad. The road to Zuku market was bad. The road to Ngwa Road market was bad. So all our markets, we couldn't connect. And my vision, dovetailing from my desire to drive trade and commerce, was to interconnect all the markets. And I will tell you the relevance in a minute. So we decided to suspend the airport project. So today, when the people talk about money for airport or whatever, I think they're questioning my decision to change my mind. And I have right at that time as governor to say, I don't want this airport now. Because if you land at the airport, where are you going to? You can't go to area. So I had to, you know, agree with the status quo at that time for us to finish some of this road. I'm happy that today I finished Ezuku Road from that fund. I finished Fox Road from that fund. Ngwa Road is okay. Osusu Road is okay. So today you can connect area through Osusu Road to Ezuku Market and connect Ezuku market to Ngwa Road market. So I succeeded in interconnecting all the markets, courtesy of that fund which we were supposed to, as it were, deploy for airport. And thank God we took that decision, because if we had gone ahead with that, 10 billion wouldn't have done an airport anyway. And that airport, I know about some airports right now that were commissioned that are yet to receive aeroplane. So why would I tie down 10 billion naira for nothing? So I assure you, no dime of that money was diverted.
So the allegation as put forward by your successor, Dr. Alex Oti, that the money was diverted into 32 accounts is not correct.
No. Far from it. We published the 32 contractors. In fact, they were not 32. They were about 20-something. Because the Ministry of Works got money from that. The Ministry of Public Utilities got money for street light from that. So it is wrong to say 32 contractors. But among the contractors, 20-something of them, some got as small as 30 million. Some got 12 million. What will you be diverting from 12 million and 30 million? And then in that publication, we gave date when the money was paid into the contractor's account. We gave the contractor's identity. We gave the roads that the contractor was supposed to do. So what I expect a discerning mind to do was to follow the trail. You can, it's not, nothing was paid cash. You follow the trail and see if a dime was diverted into somebody's account, apart from for the said purpose. But if you trail and see that the man was buying asphalt, he was buying sand, he was buying gravel, and you go to where the Fox Road is, and you see that Fox Road is standing, the matter speaks for itself. But the good thing is that, my brother, if they follow the trail of that 10 billion, they will acknowledge with their mouth that some job was done, contrary to the opinion that they have out there. It will be clear that Fox Road was done by this government from that fund. Isiku Road was done. Ojikelen was done. Milverton was done. Afi Ibeji Nobakala was done. And so many of them.
Was that?
So I'll leave that to the people from ABIA State to either confirm or deny if those roads were done. But I can confirm to you, okay, that the roads is mentioning, right, they have nothing to do with the 10 billion. All right? So these were like already kind of like paid for approved projects of his government. So him now saying, oh, I changed my mind. And then we paid the money to some people to go and do this road or that road. Are these the contractors? Mrs. Rosemary Nwogu. Are these the contractors they paid the money to? 30 million, 27 million, 25 million, 17 million, and all of this with the names of their own SPV companies already on the screen and all that. Let me see if I can take the one below off. You see that? So 203 million is how much is paid to these ones who are like government officials themselves. Do you get that now? The money were paid into the SPV accounts, and they have, what do you call it? They have nothing to do with, let me see, Ministry of War, construction of road in Aba, Ministry of this. So these are government officials, okay? So I would like you to kind of confirm if indeed those mentioned roads have been completed and paid for from, but they are not from that money. And if it's from that money, well, that's just a 230 million paid to government officials to go and monitor or construct road, right? That's not 10 billion. So what happened to the remaining 9.7 billion? Anyway, everything is in that KPMG report. But let's go a little bit further, you know, why you can know that when ABIA people, Prince JJ man, are you there? So when ABIA people tell you he's a useless man, they know what they are saying. It's the same Ikpeazu. Right.
Your Excellency, let me quickly clarify this. You say that when pregnant women give birth in your facilities, they get 500 naira. Is that correct?
500 naira, yes. Yes, at the backpack.
What is the 500 naira for, sir?
Free delivery. They give you 500 naira to it could be for anything. Are you asking a poor woman what she will do with 500 naira? Some people don't have it.
Did you see Mokwe Ogun's face? That's a state governor. At a point, he was even sharing kerosene. All right. And that's why when Alex Otti came, it was a breath of fresh air. And somehow, even though I think Alex Otti himself said he wasn't going to probe them or something, but he just had to show the people what they have done or what they did. So I'll let you, the people of ABIA, okay, to deal with that. I just thought, you know, it's ideal for you to see what I saw as well. Now, if you are in Abeokuta, or should I say if you are in Oshodi, did you see this today?
They don't come there again.
Demolition galore. Yeah, they were demolishing the shanties built, you know, as attachment to some main structures as they are clearing the state of illegal structures. And same thing in Abeokuta under Amoson's Bridge. If you were in Abeokuta today, you probably saw this. right. The question I usually ask myself is that where was government when the first makeshift shelter was being mounted under that structure? Where was government? They were there collecting money from them. And it is called revenue generation. So they go to them and take money from them every day. They see them there committing that illegality. But you know what? Election is coming. Just leave them. After election, we'll come back to them. So that was Lagos and Abeokuta, Ogun State. But now that we should leave all these cities and just take a stopover, or have a kind of a quicker stopover, where the Lambastarian, the Lambatarian, the Lamba. I am talking about the EFCC chairman, the one that was so mesmerized looking at a Yahoo boy, hacking him by using his BVN, his Samsung and whatever, right? And he was so mesmerized that, man, I have decided to take up his education and his family. The guy is back. This time he is here to educate all of you who are trading in cryptocurrency. According to the EFCC chairman, you see that crypto that you are trading in, you are indirectly sponsoring terrorism, but you don't know. He knows. His FBI friends told him. EFCC chairman.
The quest for solution is not entirely new. Several conferences and workshops have been convoked. Yet, the solution remains dire. For us in EFCC, like most Nigerians, the concern is how this crisis continues to defy solution and fester. There are some of these young men that they use to launder money now. Of course, some of you are aware of our activities in the area of investigating virtual currency, trading, cryptocurrency, and all of that. There are also potential platforms to fund terrorism, and a lot of us don't understand that. Some of our discoveries recently, when we went into investigating some of these platforms, was mind-boggling. We thought Binance was a major one. Yes, a major one, we are prosecuting them, but much more other platforms we have discovered. Of course, you are aware that EFCC got order to freeze over 1,000 accounts. It will shock you what those accounts are used for. Some of them are used to fund some of the terrorism activities. And they use some of these our young men. Some of them don't even know that the people that gave them money to trade are also, people who fund terrorism. And so you can imagine the dimension the whole problem is taking. And so it is important for us to adopt the use of technology. Because I was sharing comparing notes with an assistant director in the ABIA, a friend of mine. And he said, look, my brother, from our system in US, FBI, he said, look, we can track every dollar printed anywhere in the world. I said, wow. And so that is what we are also going into, to see how we can adopt technology to be able to track every naira. So some of these terrorists are funded, by the money made within the system. People go into banditry. People pay ransom, and they go and give them the money. And the same money will shock you, come back, find its way into the system. Same money. I mean, if somebody takes money, naira, to pay for ransom, they don't take it to America to spend. They don't take the naira to Ghana to spend. They don't accept naira there. The money finds its way back into the system. So when we have the technology to be able to track some of these things, then the work will become easier for us to do. So we are both kinetic and not kinetic. The support of civil society and the general populace by providing information and all of that. Some of these people carrying out these activities, we know them. They sleep with us, they wake up with us. But because of the pecuniary interest, some of the small things we benefit at the expense of the larger society will not allow us to speak. It is time for all of us to speak out. So I want to encourage you, when you see something, you say something. Yes, that this event offers will be both seminal and profitable in confronting the scourge of terrorism financing that oxygenates the activities of violence.
Which one is kinetic and non-kinetic? On top cryptocurrency. Oh, just word salad. Nonsense and jargons. But they know their audience. Man, all of you will be so surprised. In our investigation, see, even recently, when I was exchanging notes with my deputy director of FBI, he's my friend, and we're exchanging, and he said, "Look, my brother, Abba now. How can FBI director or FBI deputy director say, look, my brother, that's now we own that copyright. Now we, from that contraption called night, now we get that copyright. Martinelli, not be only we they use go or look or see, my brother. Look, my brother. When did they okay? Anyway, Lamba man was there saying, if you all of you will be shocked. Some of this platform, it's not just crypto. It's not just crypto, there are others. So some of you that they are giving money to, people who are giving you money to trade. Some of you don't know that they are terrorists. We know. We found out. Meanwhile, Binance is asking them to give the names of those they are investigating if they use their platform so they can help them. But it's there, throwing the lamba.
The quest for solution is not entirely new. Several conferences and workshops have been convoked. Yet, the solution remains dire. And for us in EFCC, like most Nigerians, the concern is how this crisis continues to defy solution and fester. How is it that the terrorist groups in the region are able to sustain their operations, acquire more sophisticated weaponry, and engage in daring combat with the Nigerian military? Ladies and gentlemen, it would seem that an economy of criminality that developed around terrorism and violent extremism in the region, where actors who are profiting from the chaos do not cherish the return of civil order. How, for instance, do we explain the activities of supposed not-for-profit organizations who profess to want to provide succor to the distressed but end up exploiting their misery for financial gains? How do we explain the action of unscrupulous actors who hide under the cover of humanitarian gestures and activities to fund terrorist groups? And these are issues that we must continue to interrogate.
Shut the hell up, Jerry. I mean, you see, have you not noticed that, people who are like in government, okay, like are the one in charge, all right? And then they will come around and say, oh, there are some people who are like doing some bad thing. We know some of them are using the cover of humanitarian, whatever. But when you ask them, can you give us one name? Oh, no, we are still doing our investigation. We just know. We know that there are some of them because we have heard people say it. But me and you can say, Baba, there are people who are using humanitarian nonsense to sponsor terrorism. Me and you can say that because we have heard it. We have seen the report of other countries, but we have not seen Nigeria report. Ask these guys to give us, okay, give us the name. You are the government. Give us names of this so that people can know them. No, they don't have any name. And if they did, they will not give it to you. They will rather monetize it and tell those ones who are sponsoring terrorism. We know that you are sponsoring terrorism. We are going to expose you. If we expose you now, it's going to affect all your brand, everything. Give us $2 million and it will disappear. Because they won't tell you, because they do not have any. And if they did, they will never give us. But they will throw it around and all of you will sit down there and be like, well done. Really? Very good investigation. Ask them how many of those terrorists are on trial. Zilch. Zero. Anyway, going forward, I actually do have 2 or 3 stores here to share with us, but the time is not going to let me do that. So I'm going to take calls. I won't until I show you this. The pay, as it's in Abuja, meeting with the Kalu briefly. So that's the 44-year-old Faye, the president of Senegal. Let me go mix another cup of tea. That may take me like 2 minutes, okay? But when I get back, I will take calls and you can be part of that. The number is on your screen. You are yet to actually take me to 1,000 offering there. So can we use this break as well, all of us, to mass like the broadcast and see if that takes us to $1,000. And also, there is this appeal that I'm going to make, and I'm going to put you on notice. Okay? The first one is that the completion of the setup of this Temple of Truth, the studio, which has come from a lot of you in the past, is going to be reopened. And again, it's always going to be voluntary. I'm going to need your help. It seems that this is now dragging for far too long and slowing down a lot of other things planned. I'm going to need your help. And a lot of you have told me, I do have you here. Just ask, Mayegu. So I am asking. And I'm going to make that official from tomorrow afternoon. So whatever comes out of it, let's see where that kind of take this to next again. Then on Saturday, which is when I want to also officially appeal to the kind-hearted members of this platform. And this time around, it's not even asking you to donate any money towards anything. It's going to be how many of us can actually come together and help this family, Olapenga and his family in UAE. I'm talking about people who can actually really pick up the bill of buying the tickets. I don't know how many 20 pounds, 100 pounds we would have to kind of put together to be able to afford a single ticket, right? I'm not going to say like it's not going to be a plus to take a donation in that kind. I really want to have someone who can walk in, like you walk straight to the temple and you say, you know what, Mayegun, I will buy the one-way ticket for the wife, for the mom and the child. Another person can say, you know what, I will buy the other ticket for the father. And according to him, they just want to go back after years of their inability to actually really walk. Okay? Saturday is going to be, and I hope I'm going to get that help for them. And I hope, again, a lot of you who really, really want to help, you are going to join us that day. Apart from that, just like, share, and then dial in. When I get back, we will take calls. Anyway, I think there's some bit of a trouble with the line this evening. Okay, it's kind of like dropping and back and forth. I don't know why, and that may be an issue. So I'm thinking that we should possibly take a break. It's been a long one, right? And we can indeed possibly have enough chats in the afternoon tomorrow. What do you think? No? Right, so I'm having trouble with that, okay? And I know some of you might want to try and test it in and all that, and you may even get through and others may not. So it's going to probably just dull us for the rest of the evening. So we can call it a night. I'm so sorry. Well, don't worry, I'll make it up to us, I promise, right? Sometimes when you kind of have to start late rush like that, it can be a little bit tricky. Every other thing may come on and one of the things may just not. So I want to say thank you to every one of us this evening, okay? Thank you so much for spending your evening with me. And I will see you tomorrow. Please don't forget. Share this, like it, and don't miss it tomorrow. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa fàdìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àníyàn sọ́ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àníyàn sọ́ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àníyàn sọ́ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àníyàn sọ́ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àníyàn sọ́ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àníyàn sọ́ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àníyàn sọ́ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.